let's go for more example for ellipse. All right, let's look at this example. So find the equation of the ellipse with center 3, 1. Okay, center is already given, and the major axis parallel to the y-axis. Okay, let's look at this information here, which is the major axis parallel to the y-axis. When you say the major axis parallel to the y-axis, means that the major axis is vertical, right? With the ellipse will be wider or vertically, right? So this is all shown that the vertex, so the center, the focus, all on the vertical axis here. So and if once they tell you that it's parallel to the y-axis, we can actually know the formula, right? So we can decide where's the a square. So where is the a square, right? And where is the b square? So since this is a vertical major axis, the y value here will be bigger. So means under the y value, the value be under the y minus k square will be bigger, which is a square, because we know that a square is greater than b square. So this is the information we get from the first statement here. And another one will be the center, right? We have know the center hk. So then we have improved the formula by x minus with 3 square over with b square plus with y minus k square. Your k here will be 1 minus 1 over with a square equals to 1. So after we have read this information, we have know the hk and we have know where to put the a square and b square. So since it's a vertical major axis, the a square will be under the y. And next, okay, we go for the next information. So which is the length of the major axis is 10 unit here. So very simple. The length of the major axis means that the a, right? This is the major axis. The length of the major axis overall is 10 units, right? 10 units. So it's divided to 2, which is the a and a, because we know that 2a, right? 2a will be equal to 10 units, right? A plus a will be 10 units. And also there is another information, is the length of the minor axis is 6 units. The length of the minor axis is here, right? Which is the b plus b, which is 2b, right? So 2b, so 2b will be equals to 6. Right, so from here we can get the value of a easily. A is 5 and b is 3, right? A is 5, b is 3. So, and finally we have know the equation of the ellipse, which is x minus 3 square over b square. B square will be 9 plus with y minus with 1 square over with a square, which will be 25 equals to 1. And this will be the equation of ellipse for this problem. Alright, as easy as that. So hope you understand, and we go for more example in the next video. Yeah. Alright, let's continue with this example, the second example in this video here. So find the equation of the ellipse again, which passing through the point. Alright, passing through the point, -1, 6. Okay, this one hold on, because it can't tell us what is the shape of the ellipse, right? And having the foci, this is very important here. So we know that the foci, if we're sketching the ellipse, we know that the foci will be -5, 2. If you see that the y value remain constant, right? But the x value change. So means that it will be horizontal displaced, right? So -5, 2 will be the focus, right? Another one will be 3, 2, the second focus. This have already shown you that the major axis is horizontal, right? How you know? Because focus and vertex will be on the major axis. So means that the ellipse is somewhere around here, right? So means that there is a vertex here, there is a vertex here, but now the information just give you foci, right? So the midpoint between these two foci will be the center. This is the most important. So means that the midpoint between the two focus or vertices will be the center. So how to identify the center? So center HK will be C H, the x value, -5 plus 3. -5 plus 3 over 2. 2 plus 2 over with 2. So you were getting your center to be the most important thing. You have already got your center, which is negative 1, right? Negative 2 divided by 2. You have negative 1, and this one you have 2, right? You have 2. So it means negative 1, 2 will be your center. With the center, you can know some important information here, which is the C, right? Because the focus length, center to the focus is C. So you know that here is negative 5, right? Negative 5, and this is negative 1, and this is 3. This is negative 1, right? So the value of C you can find directly by taking 3 minus with negative 1, right? The positive value minus the negative value. So which will give you 4, right? As this is 4 and this is also 4. The difference is 4, 4. So you know the value of C will be 4. Okay, I have get that information, and I also know that the equation should be x minus h square plus with y minus k square equals to 1, right? So I have to decide which one is a square, which one is b square. But now I know that this is a horizontal major axis, means that the axis is parallel to the x-axis. The x is wider, right? So under the x will be a square, and this will be b square, right? And I also know the h and k, the center, right? The center, h and k. So center, so I can put the center here to be x. Negative, right? Negative of the negative 1 will be positive 1 square over with a square plus with y minus k square. So y minus k, which is y minus 2 square over with b square equals to 1, right? So first I have having my center, and I know this is a square, this is b square. Because why a square here? Because this is a horizontal major axis here. So now how am I going to know the value of a square and b square, even though I already know the value of c, right? And you know that the c square, the value here will be equals to 4, right? And I can find a relationship between a square and b square with c square, as I know that c square is equals to a square minus b square. This is always true, right? Okay, c square, which is 4, right? Which is 4 equals to a square minus b square. So for this, I have get one equation that relate a and b as equation 1, right? So I need another equation here. I need another equation here to solving this problem, right? So, and the another information here will be this information. The ellipse which passing through the point is passing through this point, means that this point is on the ellipse, right? If this point is on the ellipse, we can substitute this value into the equation. It will satisfy the equation and giving you the value of 1, as everyone know, right? Because if like just like a point on a circle, you satisfy the circle, and this ellipse which passing through is passing through the point, right? So means that passing through the point here means that it's passing through negative 1, 6 somewhere around here is passing through, right? Negative 1, 6. So which means that this point can be directly substituted into the equation of the ellipse. So let's see how to getting the another equation. All right, sorry, I have to correct it back, where the center will be negative 1, 2, negative 1, 2, and your value here will be 3, 2. Your focus, another focus will be at negative 5, 2, right? So this is the center, right? So from the center to the focus, right? From the center to the focus, the distance is 4, right? And the distance here also will be 4, right? So we know that C is 4, right? C is 4. So if C is 4, you know that C square will definitely, you're getting 16, right? You're getting 16. So just now I have, as I know that C square, right? C square will be a square minus b square. So then I'm getting a square minus b square to be c square. C square will be 16. So this will be my equation 1, right? Which I previously wrongly interpret. So which a square minus b square will be, the difference here will be 16, as the value of c is 4 and 4, right? So now how to getting another equation? Alright, how to getting another equation, right, that relate a square and b square, so that I can solve the simultaneous equation here. As you see that the ellipse is passing through this point, right? Means that this point is on the ellipse. So I can substitute the value of x, y into the equation of the ellipse, right? So I can substitute here. So means that it's passing through negative 1, 6, right? So I can substitute negative 1 plus 1 to the power of 2 over with a square plus with your y value here will be 6. 6 minus 2 square over with b square equates to 1, right? So negative 1 plus 1, you have 0. 0 over with a square, you have 0 here, right? Everything you turn to be 0. So then here you have 6 minus 2 square, right? 6 minus 2 square, you will have and so turn out to be 0, and this one will be 16. 6 minus 2 square will be 4 square will be 16. Means that you are getting 16 over with b square equals to 1, which gives you b square to be 16, right? We want to know the value of b square, right? Which is 16. So after you know the value of b square, you can substitute into equation 1. So which will be a square minus with b square, which is 16 equals to 16. And finally you have a square to be 32. 16 plus 16, 32. So then you have complete finding the value of a square and b square, right? So eventually you have know the equation of the ellipse, which will be x plus 1 square over with a square. The a square will be 32 plus with y minus 2 square over with b square, which is 16 equals to 1. This is how we get the equation of the ellipse for this problem. Right? The new thing here will be, you know that this ellipse is passing through this point, right? It's passing this through this point, you can substitute this into the equation of the ellipse. So that's all for this video. Hope you understand.